Enoch is described in the Bible as a righteous man who walked with God. He is mentioned mainly in the Old Testament, in the Book of Genesis. According to the biblical narrative, Enoch was Noah's great-grandfather and lived before the flood. The biblical text highlights that Enoch walked with God and lived 365 years before God snatched him away, meaning that he was taken directly to heaven without experiencing physical death. Enoch's unique experience of being translated to heaven made him an enigmatic and intriguing figure in religious tradition. Furthermore, the New Testament, in the Epistle of Jude, makes a cryptic reference to prophecies attributed to Enoch. Enoch is a fascinating figure in the Judeo-Christian tradition, and there are several interesting facts about him. According to the biblical account in Genesis 5 verse 24, Enoch walked with God, and then was translated to heaven, without experiencing physical death. This unique event makes him an enigmatic figure and the subject of speculation throughout the centuries. Enoch is known to have lived 365 years, a symbolic number that can represent the entirety of a year, reinforcing his spiritual integrity throughout his life. Enoch is mentioned as Noah's great-grandfather, which connects him to the story of the flood, another landmark event in the Old Testament. Quoted in the New Testament, despite his brief mention in the Old Testament, Enoch is remembered in the New Testament in the Epistle of Jude, where he is attributed a prophecy about divine judgment. Despite not being part of the Jewish or Christian biblical canon, the Book of Enoch is an ancient text that details visions and revelations attributed to Enoch. It is considered apocryphal by many religious denominations, but it has influenced religious tradition and literature over the centuries. Enoch and his book have been a source of inspiration for writers, artists, and filmmakers, who have explored his story in his visions to create works of fiction, art, and entertainment. We can find biblical references about Enoch in Genesis 5 verses 18 to 24. This is the main text that describes Enoch's life, highlighting his age, his family and his special relationship with God, which resulted in his translation to heaven. Hebrews 11 verse 5, this New Testament verse mentions Enoch as an example of faith, highlighting his communion with God and his testimony of pleasing God. Jude 1 verses 14 to 15, although not a direct description of Enoch, this passage makes a cryptic reference to prophecies attributed to him, suggesting his prophetic influence on the Judeo-Christian tradition. These are just some of the curiosities surrounding the enigmatic figure of Enoch, who continues to fascinate scholars and believers to this day. If you want to receive more interesting content like this, subscribe to our channel and activate the notification bell. God be with you.